On a strip of sandy soil lies a county called Norfolk. It's Ontario, south coast, you know, and it's surely not remote. If you pass through or spend a day or decide to call it home, you'll see why we love it here and are proud to call it our own. Norfolk, Norfolk, a southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger long. Take in the small town atmosphere, be amazed at all that we grow. Like our kids that go and see the world and can't wait to return home. Drop a line in a placid lake or stroll along the shore. Take a tour on a peaceful country road and bound to be back for more. Of Norfolk, Norfolk, my southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger long. With hard work we built a dream that only willing hands could do. It's on display at our fall fairs and at all the festivals too. Erie beaches, Carolinian forests, where the flower and dogwoods bloom. Patchwork fields and rolling hills, it's just the place for you. Norfolk, Norfolk, a southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger long. Norfolk, 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 you won't be a stranger long. On a strip of sandy soil lies a county called Norfolk. It's Ontario, south coast, you know, and it's surely not remote. If you pass through or spend a day or decide to call it home, you'll see why we love it here and are proud to call it our own. Norfolk, Norfolk, a southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger long. Take in the small town atmosphere, be amazed at all that we grow. Like our kids that go and see the world and can't wait to return home. Drop a line in a placid lake or stroll along the shore. Take a tour on a peaceful country road and bound to be back for more. Of Norfolk, Norfolk, my southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger long. With hard work, we built a dream that only willing hands could do. It's on display at our fall fairs and at all the festivals too. Erie beaches, Carolinian forests, where the flower and dogwoods bloom. Patchwork fields and rolling hills, it's just the place for you. Norfolk, Norfolk, a southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger along. Norfolk, 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 you won't be a stranger along. On a strip of sandy soil lies a county called Norfolk. It's Ontario's south coast, you know, and it's surely not remote. If you pass through or spend a day or decide to call it home, you'll see why we love it here and are proud to call it our own. Norfolk, Norfolk, a southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger along. Take in the small town atmosphere, be amazed at all that we grow. Like our kids that go and see the world and can't wait to return home. Drop a line in a placid lake or stroll along the shore. Take a tour on a peaceful country road and bound to be back for more. Of Norfolk, Norfolk, my southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger along. With hard work, we built a dream that only willing hands could do. It's on display at our fall fairs and at all the festivals too. Erie beaches, Carolinian forests, where the flower and dogwoods bloom. Patchwork fields and rolling hills, it's just the place for you. Norfolk, Norfolk, a southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger along. Norfolk, 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 you won't be a stranger along. On a strip of sandy soil lies a county called Norfolk. It's Ontario's south coast, you know, and it's surely not remote. If you pass through or spend a day or decide to call it home. You'll see why we love it here and are proud to call it our own. Norfolk, Norfolk, a southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger long. Take in the small town atmosphere, be amazed at all that we grow. Like our kids that go and see the world and can't wait to return home. Drop a line in a placid lake or stroll along the shore. Take a tour on a peaceful country road and bound to be back for more. Of Norfolk, Norfolk, my southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger long. With hard work we built a dream that only willing hands could do. It's on display at our fall fairs and at all the festivals too. Erie beaches, Carolinian forests, where the flower and dogwoods bloom. Patchwork fields and rolling hills, it's just a place for you. Norfolk, Norfolk, a southern county home. Norfolk, Norfolk, we know you can't go wrong with the friendly folk of Norfolk. You won't be a stranger long. Norfolk, 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 you won't be a stranger long.
Okay, council members, I'd like to start in 1 minute, please, and thank you. Okay, we're back. Thank you very much, everyone. Well, right back to the top of the agenda. It's 5 o'clock, and let's get moving here. Tonight, we're very fortunate to recognize the career of Mary Elder. Mary, I see you there, and Brian, I see you brought your boss with you. That's great. I'm going to ask Chris Baird to come forward. He's going to speak on the topic of the many, many, many accomplishments of Mary Elder. Sounds like a movie, The Accomplishments of Mary Elder. Chris, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Mary, would you like to come up and join me? This is a special night tonight. This is marks the third last day for Mary. Her official retirement is Friday at 4:30. A couple more sleeps. Mary, thank you for coming tonight. Mayor Luke, thank you for this opportunity. I'm very proud to welcome Mary to this afternoon's council meeting. Today we're going to celebrate her retirement. Mary began her career in 1989 with the former region of Haldeman, Norfolk, and Mary since worked as a planner with Norfolk County for almost 18 years. She's devoted 29 years of her career to public service, and along with many of our council members here, you have as well. Mary's a registered professional planner, an RPP, and also a member of the Ontario Professional Planners Institute, the OPPI, and she's worked as a computer analyst, a project planner, a senior planner, and now the penultimate position, principal planner within our planning department. Through the years, she's been a project lead on a various number of legacy policy projects. So what makes her job really unique is the policies that she develops, the council approves and implements, they're here for the long haul, not just 5 or 10 years, sometimes 20 and longer. One of the reasons why Norfolk County is such a great place to live and work is because of having good policies. Good policies create good development creates great communities, and we certainly have that here in Norfolk. She was involved with the development of the 1996 Region of Haldeman Norfolk official plan. The implementation of City View, that's the main application that planners, engineers, building and bylaw staff use to provide services to our community. She did the first Norfolk County official plan and the companion Lakeshore Special Policy secondary plan, and most recently the Hastings Drive, a very complex study, and the completion of our Norfolk County zoning bylaw. The final appeal was discussed with council last week. It's a great accomplishment, and of course our 5-year official plan review, which is before the province, and we hope to have fully implemented by the year end. Mary's been a model Norfolk County employee. Anyone you'd ask about her, I think they'd say the same thing. She provides exceptional customer service. She mentors our planning team, a lot of new faces over the years. And she not only works with our citizens and devotes her personal time and energy to our local youth through the scouting program. You do quite a bit. So I'm going to call on Pam to say a few more words. I should say, as Mayor Luke mentioned, Mary is joined by her husband, Brian, here tonight. Good to see you, Brian.
Mary. But on behalf of the planning department and our team, we wish you all the best in your retirement. We're absolutely going to miss your smiling face and your laugh around our table in meeting times. We wish you all the best with Brian and your family and your grandchildren, and enjoy your retirement.
I ask the mayor to come forward. We have a certificate of appreciation. We'll ask Mayor Luke to read that.
Thank you very much, Chris, and certainly on behalf of this council, I want to congratulate you and thank you for everything you've done, and you certainly have left your mark on the planning aspect of the county over the years, and we're in very good shape because of you and your efforts, and certainly all of our planning staff. This is a certificate of appreciation for Mary Alder. On behalf of the corporation of the Council of Norfolk County, I extend sincere congratulations to you on your retirement from Norfolk County. Mary, your service and dedication over the years are recognized, and they are certainly applauded by all of us. Council extends its thanks and wishes you well in whatever endeavor you undertake in your retirement. I'll know that you'll be taking Brian along with you, so you'll be in good hands. Of course, it's signed on behalf of this council of the Corporation of Norfolk, and it's dated the 30th day of June 2018, and Andy and I have signed it, so on behalf of all of us, congratulations.
I can't believe that it's 29 years. When I started with that first contract with Haldeman Norfolk, I didn't anticipate I would be here as long as this, but it has been rewarding, at times challenging, but always inspiring to work in planning, whether it was policy or development or economic development. I've worked in those three areas for sure and really enjoyed all of the challenges. Thank you so much.
You guys are fine.
No dangling hands.
Mayor Luke, we do have a couple of other quick ceremonial activities here this evening. Thank you for Council's opportunity. I have three quick presentations here for three of our planning staff that have been working very, very hard on their professional development. If it wasn't for Mayor Luke and this council and the councils before to support employee career training and advancement and opportunity, and certainly to Mr. Cribbs for his support as well to staff. And tonight we are honoring Shannon, Matt, and Pam on some of their accomplishments. So I'll start off by inviting Shannon to come up and join me here quickly. Shannon Van Dalen has successfully received her Certified Municipal Manager Level 1 designation from the Ontario Municipal Management Institute. Congratulations. Shannon is a registered professional planner and currently our principal planner at Norfolk County. And she's led special policy projects such as Simcoe's new downtown secondary plan, we'll hear more about, the Port Dover West secondary plan, and various development applications. Shannon holds a Bachelor of Arts from McMaster University in Geography with a minor in Economics and an honors diploma from Mohawk College in Municipal Planning and GIS. She's also continuing her education with York University, with the Schulich School of Business, as well as, I don't know how you fit all this in, as well as completing a landscape design certificate from Mohawk College. Shannon is a wonderful asset to Norfolk County. We've all come to know you quite well every second Tuesday here. Congratulations to you on your most recent accomplishment. Thank you, Shannon. Next, I'd like to call up Matt Vaughn. Matt Vaughn has been with the county for a number of years, and he successfully received his Certified Municipal Manager Level 2 designation from the Ontario Municipal Managers Institute. Matt is also a registered professional planner and also a principal planner here with Norfolk County, and he's mentored staff through various site plan and condominium development applications. Matt is considered our condominium expert and most lately the cannabis expert. So other municipalities have found that out as well. Matt is a great resource to have on our team. Matt continues to play a vital part in our planning department. Matt holds a Bachelor of Environmental Studies from the University of Waterloo, a diploma in pre-service firefighting. Matt is a firefighter, Fairground Station, and he's currently working on his Master's in Planning from the University of Waterloo. Congratulations, Matt, on your most recent accomplishment. And finally, if I could call it Pam Tuesling. Last presentation this evening. Pam successfully received a graduate diploma in public administration from the University of Western Ontario. Pam is also a registered professional planner and a certified economic developer, acting as a director of planning for your county. Pam leads a department of 16 employees, including policy, development, and GIS. Pam holds a Bachelor of Environmental Studies in Planning, Business, and a Master of Economic Development from the University of Waterloo. She has diplomas in leadership and business management from Fanshawe, a master's certificate in municipal leadership from York University. She's currently working on her PhD in rural studies planning at the University of Guelph. She's a devoted Norfolk County employee, a mom, a wife, and a lead for these fine folks here. And congratulations, Pam, on receiving your diploma. You will need a bigger office to hang all these things in. So, anyway, please join me in recognize Pam on her accomplishment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chris Baird, and certainly again to Mary and Pam and Shannon and Matt. On behalf of council, thank you for your contributions to Norfolk County, and congratulations on your achievements. Okay, item number 10 of tonight's agenda are the public meetings. We're a little late starting. I apologize for that. I will now officially open the public meetings held under the Planning Act and the Municipal Act. I advise those in attendance that the local planning tribunal has the power under the Planning Act to dismiss an appeal to either a zoning bylaw and/or an official plan amendment if the appellant does not make oral submissions at the public meeting or does not make written submission to Norfolk County Council before the zoning bylaw is passed and/or before the official plan amendment is adopted. I am on page 139 to deal with staff report DCS 18-60. An application has been received to construct an accessory storage building in the agriculture zone requiring relief of 172 square meters from the maximum usable floor area for accessory buildings of 200 square meters. This is to allow a usable floor area of 372 square meters. Denny Muradovic and Agent Rick Dixon have put forth this application. It affects the lands described as 332 Charlottesville Road 7. And I see Stephen. Welcome back, Stephen. Our planner, Stephen Collier, is here, and he will now give us his report. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council, and members of the public. This is a zoning bylaw amendment application to add special provision 14.945 to the subject lands. Okay. My apologies. This is a zoning bylaw amendment application to construct an accessory storage building in the agricultural zone of 372 square meters, where 200 square meters is the maximum permitted in the zoning bylaw. The subject lands are 1.57 acres in size and are located at 332 Charlottesville Road 7 in between Forestry Farm Road and Charlottesville West Quarter Line Road. The lands currently contain one single detached dwelling and 5 accessory storage buildings, all proposed to be removed. The subject lands are surrounded by farmland on all sides, and there are some small rural residential properties in the area. There are no nearby buildings on adjacent properties. The subject lands are surrounded by a woodlot, and the applicant has worked with the planning department to locate the building such that the minimal number of trees possible are impacted with this development. The lands are currently designated agricultural in the Norfolk County official plan and zoned agricultural in the Norfolk County zoning bylaw. The agricultural zone allows for accessory buildings to residential uses up to a maximum of 200 square meters. The applicant is applying for a zoning bylaw amendment to allow for an accessory storage building of 372 square meters, and he has outlined this need to store multiple cars and machine equipment that he owns. Planning staff have reviewed this application and have determined that it is consistent with the provincial policy statement and the Norfolk County official plan, and that the requested relief and proposed building are expected to result in no negative impacts to surrounding property owners. As such, the planning department supports this application and recommends that it be approved.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Are there any questions from council to our planner? I do not see the agent here. Is Mr. Muradovic here? Yes, sir. I'll be right with you. Thank you, sir. I would like at this time to invite anyone who would like to speak in favor of the application to come forward to the podium. And as always, we will allow the applicant or agent to be heard first. Denny, do you wish to say anything? Okay, if there are, I'll call on you. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in attendance tonight that would like to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone in attendance this afternoon that would like to speak in general or in opposition to this application? Council, anything further from you? I'm looking for a motion to close this public meeting. Councillor Wells and Councillor Geisens wish to have the public meeting closed. All in favor? Close the public meeting. Staff recommendations on page 139. What's your wishes, Council? Councillor Columbus, please.
So move the recommendation as printed on page 139.
Thank you. Councillor Oliver will second that. Columbus Oliver moved seconded that the application of Mr. Muratovic on 332 Charlotteville Road 7 in Simcoe. This affects lands described as part of Lot 5, Concession 6, Charlotteville, Norfolk County. This is to amend our zoning bylaw 1Z 2014. File number is there, gentlemen, recommended for approval for reasons as set out in this report, and that no public input has been received for this application, therefore will not be part of our decision. Open for discussion. Those in favor? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Denny, for attending. Page 151, please. An application has been received to rezone the subject lands from rural industrial to agriculture zone and remove a site-specific provision 14.173. Dennis Noland, on behalf of Robert Dalby, has put forth the application which affects the lands described as 283 St. John's Road East. Kayla DeLay, welcome. Good to see you. Are you ready to give us your report?
I am.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a zoning bylaw amendment application for a rural residential property located at 283 St. John's Road. The property contains a single detached dwelling and an accessory building, and it has always functioned as a rural residential lot. The current zoning of rural industrial, with a special provision for a contractor's yard, does not align with the current use of the property. Therefore, the applicants have applied to rezone the subject lands to agricultural, and this is in keeping with the official plan designation. No public input has been received, and the proposed zoning is appropriate and represents good planning. Planning staff recommend approval of this application.
Thank you. Is the applicant Dennis Nolan here this evening? And you are the applicant? Yes, okay. And your agent here? You're the agent, but you're not the applicant. I don't know because it's worded funny here. So anyhow, Dennis Nolan, the agent, is here. Got it. Thank you, sir. Okay, just before we proceed, questions from council. Councillor Oliver, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. To staff, given the fact that this would be land that would be taken out of the industrial zone and put into the agriculture zone, this is of no relevance to the applicant necessarily, but does it, in a sense, assist us with our most recent efforts to move some land into the industrial zone? In other words, we've helped with offsetting acreage in one sense with this application.
Through the chair to Councillor Oliver, I don't believe so. This land is designated agricultural in the official plan, so this is just simple down zoning to better align with the current designation.
Questions for Kayla? Not at this time. I would like to invite anyone who would like to speak in favor of this application to come forward to the podium and Certainly, as always, we extend that courtesy first to Agent Dennis Nolan. Do you wish to speak? There may be a question, so we shall see. Is there anyone in attendance this evening who wishes to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone in attendance this evening that wishes to speak in opposition or in general to this application? Anything further from council? Motion to close this public meeting, Wells. Height, seconded. Those in favor? Public meeting is closed. Thank you. I'm on page 151. What's your wishes here? Councillor Wells. Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Height has seconded. Wells and Height, that the application by Dennis Nolan that affects the lands described as part of Lot 4, Concession 3, Geographic Township of Woodhouse in Norfolk County. This is to amend our zoning bylaw 1Z 2014. The file number is printed there. This is for approval for reasons set out in report number DCS 18-66, and that no public input has been received for this application and therefore will not be considered as part of this decision. Discussion on this motion? Those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And Agent Nolan, thank you for attending. You're welcome. We have one staff, actually we have two. My apologies. Our first staff report this evening is CAO 1821. On page 163, this is the establishment of Joint Municipal Elections Compliant Audit Committee. Are you involved in this? Okay, I'll turn it over to the clerk, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What's before council tonight is a report to establish a joint municipal election compliance audit committee with Brantford, Brant County, and Haldimand County. This project has been about a year in the making of meeting with the other area clerks. It was advanced when we saw significant changes in the municipal legislation respecting these committees, and we felt that there's a significant advantage to having a joint committee and shared processes amongst all the municipalities due to the fact that our committee has never previously met, but now we're required to meet at least once, and I'm required to present a report on all candidates' expenses. So previously the clerk just reviewed them and signed off, but now we have to at least hold one meeting, and having the shared processes will help a lot if any municipality amongst us has an issue that goes further in the courts. And with that, I'll try my best to answer any questions council might have.
Thank you very much. Council members, Councillor Wells, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the clerk. You see this as happening more than once during the duration, or how much time do you think this committee will be investing in the new project?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we believe that there should be likely two meetings. One of them will be an inaugural meeting where all the clerks, we will have to meet in Brant County because it's the only municipality that touches all the boundaries of all the other municipalities. It's a weird legislative rule that we can only do it in a neighboring, so we can only hold a shared meeting in Brant County. So we'll hold one orientation meeting in Brant County, and then there will be one meeting here in Norfolk County to review the expenses. But unless the committee decides to hire an auditor, we won't have a further meeting. And we also have to deal with the potential of a complaint from a citizen, but hopefully we could deal with those all at the one meeting. So again, this committee's never had to meet before, and now we're anticipating one meeting simply because we're legislatively required to now, two with the orientation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Further questions? I hear none. I do have a motion. Moved by Oliver, seconded by Geisens, that report CAO 1821, establishment of joint municipal election compliance audit committee be received as information, and that Norfolk County Council agree to the agree to participate in a joint municipal election audit compliance committee, and that the clerk be directed to present a bylaw repealing bylaw 2010-118 and approving a new shared terms of references. Discussion, please. I hear none. Those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Okay, on your desk tonight, in addition to our agenda, our second staff report. I'm still looking for mine, but I will find it here. It hasn't run away. This is on the gas well, and Mr. County Manager, Mr. CAO, I believe this is yours.
Well, it is, Your Worship, but to be abundantly clear, there's been a lot of work done by a lot of staff across the corporation, and it might be my name at the top, but it doesn't mean that I'm the one who's done the most work on this file in any way, shape, or form, and I'd be greatly remiss not to openly thank members of our fire department, members of public health, members of public works, the finance department for their time and effort on this file. That being said, and getting to it, we last reported to you on this issue at this location in early May of this year. There was media coverage of that presentation and discussion at Forestry Farm Road. Since then, unfortunately, very recently, we've received a number of we've only consistently received readings that were not problematic, that were at very low levels, sort of ambient kind of readings that pose no threat to human health and no potential threat to human health. And recently we've received a number of readings that exceed the federal government's guidelines. I forget the name of the title of the guidelines, but notwithstanding, they're over 10 parts per million. Specifically, we've received readings of 49 parts per million at the perimeter area we've established around what we believe to be the source of the leaking hydrogen sulfide. That being said, no one actually knows exactly where the hydrogen sulfide is leaking from. We cannot prove that. We see an area that is bubbling up from the water, and we are assuming that to be the source of the leak. It may or may not be an old gas well. Can't prove that yet either. It is believed that with the use of ground penetrating radar, we could prove that one way or the other, and ideally locate where most of the gas or some of the gas is located. So this is the best strategy from a number of mines, and I should say we've had very good interaction, advice, support, and collaboration with the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry staff in the region who've attended on site, who've offered what knowledge and expertise they can to help us come to this specific advice to County Council. We think we have no good way forward that until we have some more knowledge and data of what's specifically happening in the location. We have been unable to locate a company that provides ground penetrating radar services that also has staff who are trained to go into what we're calling hot zones, places where you need sort of hazardous material suits. We have found a company, however, that is prepared to have their staff do so if they are effectively being watched, mentored, coached by those who do have that skill and training. And Bradco is one such company, and as you may well recall, they did drilling on both the last two wells associated with the emergency that was back in August and September of 2017. So we have utilized their services before in a satisfactory manner. Conjunctively, those two corporations are prepared to work together to, we hope, and they believe, obtain the data we'll need to ultimately be able to make an informed decision about how to proceed. The MNRF is very interested in obtaining this data. It will help it with its own analysis of the problem and with coming up with some workable solutions. So a lot of people with training, expertise, knowledge, and understanding have put a lot of hours and a lot of time and thought into this. And quite frankly, this is the only course of action we can reasonably recommend to you in good conscience. We just need some more data, and we believe, and the companies believe, that this course of action will obtain that for us. That being said, both I, Ms. Miranda, possibly Chief Townsend, possibly Ms. Robinson would be happy to take your questions at this time.
Thank you. Mr. CAO, anything from staff over here to add at the moment? Okay, we'll open for questions. I see Councillor Wells first.
Very much, Mr. Mayor, and I'd like to say thank you for that report, but I don't think I can thank you for that, but certainly it's good that we are on top of this. Obviously, we are about to embark on some kind of mission. Who will be paying for this mission that we are embarking on?
Specifically, this report is requesting $15,000, which is viewed as, all of our advice is that we should be able to accomplish this inside of a day, and a day should take about $10,000. So we've asked for 15 on the offhand chance that there's a problem and an additional half day somewhere is needed to build in some insulation or cushion. But we are asking for this money from County Council and from the Norfolk County levy specifically.
And I take it, since you were asking for this money, and certainly you've got to get it from someplace, we have to do something, that it is our responsibility, this potential leak is the responsibility of Norfolk County. Am I correct on that? Is that your take on that as well?
There is provincial legislation which establishes that as a default, the owner of a piece of property has responsibility for for remediation of any abandoned gas wells situated thereon. This is land owned by the Corporation of Norfolk County. And while we don't know that it's a gas well, because we can't get down there safely at this point in time, there's that distinct possibility. Provincial records indicate that there used to be a gas well, not exactly where we're going, but in relative proximity, and that could just be an error of GPS mapping over time. The technology is much better now than it used to be, of course. So it's hard to give you on the face of it, we're the closest thing to, at the moment, to a responsible party. Certainly, we are the only order of government prepared to offer any up, or we will be if 5 of you vote in the affirmative. We have canvassed very hard our 2 provincial partners and come up with nothing. So at this point in time, your staff feels obligated to come to you on behalf of the Norfolk County ratepayer.
Yes?
Last question, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for taking the initiative. What happens if we don't do it?
There are a number of potentially negative situations. I would advise against instructing me to publicly explore all of them. At this time, we have fenced off an area and signed it as potentially hazardous to human health. And at the outskirts of the area, i.e. around the snow fencing, we're getting readings of 49 parts per million. Now, I don't have the right scientific background, but my understanding of what I have read from the federal government standards is that 49 parts per million isn't, if you breathe that in, you're not going to keel over dead. They're talking about ongoing exposure that can cause human health problems. You need much higher concentrations to be fatal, but it's still at a problematic reading because it's above 10. So we don't know what the future has in store. It could well be, we've been monitoring this since the fall and consistently zeros or near zeros. We've now been consistently getting readings in the 40s. We can't explain why. We have no idea. Does that mean that next week they're in the 200s or they're back to, we don't have an answer to that. But really it's very hard to see how we go forward without just a little more understanding. And there is no inexpensive way to bring backhoes, et cetera, and dig into a ravine in what's otherwise an attractive green space, I might add. Whereas a ground penetrating radar is relatively inexpensive, in theory can obtain the data in a matter of hours. So this is a non-destructive way to find out what lies beneath.
Thank you. Councillor Brunton.
Thank you, Mayor Luke. And thanks, Dave, for your report. I guess I'm looking at this map here, and we're referring to this well and the yellow mark around it.
Yes.
And does that mean that if it is that well and it's in that location, that it was plugged in 1956? Is that how I read that?
Correct, sir.
Okay. And in your report, you say if, and I don't have a problem with spending that kind of money to investigate it, but this is the one we've had all the problems with, and it bubbles up in the water, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I guess I'm looking down the line here, assuming we find a dysfunctional well cap of some sort. Next step is to probably plug it again or do something in that range. Does the ministry not have a program or a fund where they will, in your report you say they may be more favorable to, well, I won't quote the words, but it's in your report, to help fund this? Am I right, or is that possible?
Well, it's entirely possible. We're cautiously optimistic. There's actually a potentially very good day if we can find and prove that it is an abandoned well, because there is a provincial program that exists that would help. If this is a naturally occurring source that's just bubbling up from the earth, for lack of, forgive my terminology, but layman here, then there's a different problem altogether. So assuming that the ground penetrating radar determines can in fact locate some well infrastructure, and we can show that this is what it is, then we think this gives us a mechanism to make a good case to Her Majesty that this is an excellent opportunity and a reasonable partnership to enter into with the province of Ontario. And given any number of extremely unusual circumstances with this well, the fact it's from 1956 alone, and it's possibly underwater, we think it may well qualify because of a number of special circumstances. So while there are no guarantees in life, having some data to make a coherent case, I think enormously helps our case in turn with the province.
Okay, and I guess my question is, looking at this map, how many acres, and where, is there any boundaries shown here that that is our property, I guess I'm looking for? What do we own there?
I can't comment on the absolute acreage. I'm not sure that any of us can. I just look over at Lee Robinson out of habit rather than because I expect her to know the answer. Per se, the white lines do indicate property lines though. So we own the central area that's around, there's a body of water and we own somewhat south of it, and it's west of the road.
Well, there's a kind of a white line, it's a really odd shaped piece of property. I assume somebody donated it or something at one point, I'm not sure. But, okay, and I guess my last question, if I may, is do you recall anybody, what we didn't pay, but there were some wells plugged there last year. What's the cost roughly? Do you know what it costs per well?
This is a topic I've engaged, not just our team has engaged on multiple occasions with a number of drilling companies, with the MNRF because of its lengthy experience in closing wells. And I mean, their answer is, it's sort of like, how much does a house cost? Well, 250,000 or 2.5 million, you get a pick. That a relatively straightforward well on straight land, a flat land that's easy to access from a road, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, can be closed for just tens of thousands. Whereas $1 million is absolutely also on the table. They have an enormous, I mean, what does a car cost? But it could be several $1,000s, and $1 million's not impossible. And it really depends on how big the gas well is, what the land involves, the rock underneath, like it just goes on and on and on. So
Okay.
without being able to see underneath, we can't even give an intelligent estimate on that.
Well, I guess if we do this testing, we'll find out maybe. I guess, well, Mr. Chairman, I'm prepared to move ahead with what he's recommending. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. Councillor Columbus.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Cribbs, you mentioned the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry several times. You're working closely with them and they're providing good support. But in the past, the last wells, we had the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change quite involved. I remember I forget, Mark, somebody was at the podium here speaking to us. Any response from the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change with respect to this particular well?
I can inform council that we did in fact receive an answer from the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change this afternoon at 4:38 p.m. And that formal correspondence from Paul Windmeyer, WIDMEYER, District Manager, the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, 905-521-7726, is that, and I'll quote, the county's monitoring program has provided information indicating hydrogen sulfide levels in the air at the site boundary levels. Please keep me informed with respect to steps that you intend to take to address these levels. For your information, MOECC's role is to provide fire departments and health units with air monitoring services, primarily in terms of emergency. I hope I've clarified MOECC's expectations with respect to the leaking gas well. The ministry has denied that it has any statutory obligations to assist us, that it has any role in this issue, notwithstanding the role it had been helpful last year. We're getting no air monitoring support services. They do anticipate for some reason that we should report to them, notwithstanding the fact they've disavowed any responsibility, have made no offer of assistance, and I think we're being told to pound salt.
Thank you. Lee, did you wish to respond? And Councillor Geisens, please. No?
Through the mayor to council, this was with respect to the size of the property, et cetera. The Norfolk
Yes.
County's property is approximately 13.2 acres.
13.2 acres. Thank you. Councillor Geisens, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'm hoping that council will go ahead with this ground penetrating radar. All the things that I wanted to say have been said, I'm sorry. But you have to think of something else, because take a drive from the bridge to McDowell Road, and you will find out on just about every day you're going to, because it's a low area, and it may not cause people to be sick or to do anything like that, but can you imagine sitting in your house or outside, and you can't stay outside because of the smell, and it gets fairly bad in some cases, and I don't know how far it goes, but I know that I've had about 4 or 5 people call and say, when are you going to do something? So I'm hoping that, I don't know will it ever get capped, but I'm sure at least it's a beginning, and that we can find something that would actually do something. Now, will it change something later on that we find another well